Listen, today we're gonna talk about some of the most common mistakes and how you can avoid them. Let's go. We're gonna talk about some things that you really want to avoid, some common mistakes that people make, and how you can overcome those mistakes and keep yourself trending upward. Everyone wants to be able to constantly be getting results by taking in information. You don't wanna have this like up and down, up and down. You'd rather just be like continuously trending up, and that's what today is gonna focus on. Let's get into number one. Number one is instantly reducing your calories, thinking that that is going to instantly get you fat loss. Likewise, you could just instantly say, all right, I'm gonna eat more because it's simple. I wanna get stronger and bigger, so I'm gonna eat more. Hey, I wanna lose fat, so I'm gonna eat less. Not necessarily the case. You don't just wanna jump into that without knowing what your maintenance calories are. Only from there can you take the right processes to make sure that you're gonna get the results that you need. Number two, this one is another really common one that I find with my clients: exercising excessively without fueling properly. You see it so often. Working out without having the proper fuel before, even though there are some cases where you might want to be training fasted. Now, the thing about training fasted is you're gonna work a certain way, right? You're gonna lift a certain way. You're gonna put out a certain amount of energy, because if you don't kind of keep an eye on that, you could really be causing a lot of damage. For the sake of this conversation though, let's speak about someone who is not focusing on fasting before their workouts, okay? In order for us to get the most out of your workouts, we would love for you to have the proper fuel, so that way you can push and get the most out of that session by being able to really push yourself. If you're dragging and you're low energy and you're tired, you're not gonna be able to, let's say you're doing sprints or you're running, you're not gonna be able to push at speeds that your body would normally be able to if it were fueled properly. And if you were lifting, you're just gonna feel really drained. You're not gonna be able to push yourself to maybe lift, 3, 5, 10 pounds more each set for 2, 3, or 5 more reps. And over time, that volume really adds up. We wanna make sure that you go into your sessions properly fueled, normally reducing your fats before your session about an hour or two before that session in the meal that you have, and giving yourself a little bit more carbs so you're going in fueled. This is another conversation that we'll probably say for another day, and that's, should you be having more carbs or should you be having more fats before workouts, and why? Let's just say for right now, we really wanna focus on giving your body the fuel it needs to get the most out of every single session. Number three is going to be not accounting for your body's specific needs. If I could stress to people, it would be one of the first things I would normally talk about. See, it could be number one. Listen, what type of stress levels and things are you under? Which we're gonna get into stress a little bit more later as well. Have you gotten blood labs done? Spoken to your physician? Have you gotten some past injuries looked at? Are you nutrient deficient in anything? Are there certain things that you need more of? Are you someone that responds better to carbs? Do you feel like you respond better to fats? If you don't know these things about your body, you're gonna really be at a disadvantage, because you're gonna be trying to figure out what's getting you results and what's not, and we don't even know for you what's best. This is where you have programs that are like one size fits all, or nutrition plans that are one size fits all. Well, you're one of billions. Not everyone is gonna be able to just start doing something and get results. Now, I have programs that are templated out, but they help you kind of compensate for, hey, listen, this is the general format. Understand that you're over here, you probably aren't inside of this box, and here's how you can make those adjustments best for you and your body. Understanding that helps someone to begin to learn more about themselves and feel things out. But overall, what things do you need? Like, what things make you feel well? Do you like having a shake while you're working out? How are your vitamin B levels? How are your just anything, man. What are the pre-existing conditions that you have? What are some things that work good for you, things that don't? We really need to take into account the individual before we just start saying, here's the goal and we're gonna attack it. Number 5 is tracking and logging your food using a food journal. I'm not gonna go too deep other than to say, if you've got a plan that you're on, we've gotta know exactly what foods you're taking in. We gotta know how many calories you're taking in, so we really have this fully rounded picture. For number 5, we are talking about hydration. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Let's talk about a couple reasons why hydration is important, okay? Besides the fact that the body is made up of what, 70% water, We need the water in our system, the hydration, to help you flush out toxins. It's gonna help flush things out of your organs, out of your kidneys. More than likely, when you're trying to start a new program, it's probably not because you've been eating super clean and doing all these things great for your body and treating it so amazing. Probably because we're trying to get a change, and we go back and forth in those. Sometimes you're always, you know, feeling pretty good and getting the results you want, and you're constantly progressing. And other times you might take a step back or take a step forward or whatnot. I know what that's like, trust me. Listen, one thing that you'll find is just by hydrating, you'll already start to feel better. You'll start to get better brain functions. And now I don't mean that you're gonna instantly start losing weight, but you'll be able to push a little bit more in your workouts just because your muscles have more hydration available for them. Also a part of what creatine does with helping to get that hydration into the muscles. Just high level, listen guys, we know that we need hydration. I would aim, you know, a couple things to aim for. I don't wanna get too deep into the numbers because I feel like it starts to get a little bit tough for people when you're measuring and all this. Listen, if you're a guy, try to drink 1.5 gallons of water a day. If you're a woman, try to drink 3/4 of a gallon to a gallon. And based on how much activity you've got outside and how much activity you've got throughout your day, you're gonna need to increase that amount of water, right? If you're just sitting inside the house, you're probably not gonna need as much water as if you were, you know, outside working, you know, in the heat in Florida, you know, where I live. Number 6 is having a low quality of sleep. If you're not sleeping, there is no way that your body can recover. You've got to find a way to make that a priority. I think that I've got an episode out about this already. If you haven't already heard it, go back and look for sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene is basically the process of going through doing things to help you create the ability to fall asleep. When you're having trouble sleeping or falling asleep, really what that is, that's a high presence of serotonin. So serotonin is like the fight or flight. It's when you wake up like and your alarm didn't go off, so you wake up on your own and then you're about to be late for work and you get dressed in like 3 minutes, grab yourself, you're out the door, you get there on time. And other days it might feel like, oh man, like I'm moving so slow. I get up an hour before and I still am running a little bit behind. In the presence of serotonin, your body is unable to fall asleep because your body feels like it needs to be alert, it needs to protect itself. Some things that play into that are watching, you know, having bright lights, like daylight lights on, you know what I mean? You might want to have some dimmer lights, some lights that you can kind of turn down a little bit. What you're watching on the TV, right? You're on your phone, you probably want to dim your phone or be off your phone after a certain time. Just what we're doing to kind of help your body relax. Maybe, you know, an hour before you go to bed, you start doing some of these things like chamomile tea or putting some lavender into the things that'll just help you start to relax, right? When you do that, you'll notice yourself able to fall asleep better. In a perfect world, we'd all get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Probably not the case for most of us. So just starting to monitor how much sleep you're getting, and then from there, trying to get more sleep and a better quality. Those two don't necessarily mean the same. I wear an Apple Watch. It's one way of actually tracking how much time you're spending in REM sleep and things like that, and how much time you're awake and tossing and turning. I would track these stuff. Just pay attention to them because they're gonna tell a really big story. It starts to give you this rounded understanding of where you're at and why you're there and how you can make some improvements. Number 7 is accounting for your stress levels. You know, we probably need to do a topic just on this alone. Your stress levels are really going to affect your results. Everyone has some levels of stress, if not a ton, right? Financial, you know, relationship stress, stress at your job, just being constantly worried and having these things that are stressing you out will definitely play a toll on your central nervous system. Gotta find a way to, number 1, address them so you know what they are. Number 2, how can we begin to alleviate some of those stress levels? How can we begin to remove some of them? Hey, do we need to start working with a financial advisor so you get your budgeting together? You need to have some tough conversations. Do you need to remove yourself from a relationship? Do you need to assess some of your goals at your job or the job that you had because they're just causing you more stress than they are like positive forward progress? I think that this is something that most people also will forget. They won't really focus on this. Find out how you can improve on them, and that'll be a huge part because it's this whole encompassing environment, right? It's not just what you're eating. It's not just how you're working out. It's not just hydration. It's all these different data points. Honestly, with my clients, we work in about like 20 to 25 different data points that we're taking into account before we just say, eat more of this, eat less of this, don't do this or don't do that. We gotta look at the whole picture. If you don't have this consistent system of where you're taking in the data, you're measuring how your body feels, and then you're using that to learn and repeat or make adjustments, you will break. Okay, last but definitely not least is recovery, number 8. cannot just continue to beat your body up. Maybe you're saying that you're doing 2-a-day sessions on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday and Thursday you're gonna do one session. It's gonna be a longer one that's, you know, an hour longer, or it's gonna be a 5K or a 10K, something like that. This is all a plan that you have. You've gotta make sure that you're taking in information on your body before you continue. When you're starting to get pain, addressing those things, that's your body speaking to you. Feel low energy, that's your body speaking to you. Need to change the amount of volume, or do we need to give you more fuel? Most people are not spending the time to recover. Maybe you have a plan where Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday you're working out, and then Thursday's a recovery day where you're going for an easy jog or a swim. I love to tell my clients to just go play a sport, honestly. You know, working some yoga, working some stretching, and then get back on it Friday and Saturday and take off completely Sunday. I normally like to suggest one active recovery day and then one day completely off. Now, a lot of people kind of take that recovery day as something that's kind of more like a punishment and I can't do as much. No, just do something different. We do want to reduce the volume on your body, but we would love to get increased blood flow, because increased blood flow is going to be what's going to help with the recovery process. Love mobility sessions. Absolutely love going for a light jog, you know, go for a bike. Again, you know, get on a court, play some hoops, get on a pitch, play some soccer, you know, get on a diamond, whatever it might be. You've got to be taking in recovery into account, or you're gonna break sooner or later. I remember there was a time where I was like, all right, I'm gonna do 2-a-days on these days, and then on this day I'm gonna take off earlier in the week, and then I'm gonna do 2-a-days. And really what I found was that the best thing for me, the best thing was kind of taking that inventory as the week was going. And if I felt like I really went hard the day before, or here's an example, when you come back to train that body part again, or when you come back to do a certain style of workout and that muscle's not yet recovered, you gotta listen to your body. Either you're gonna let your body rest that day and focus it as a recovery day, or you're gonna do some other things that are gonna allow you to work and not beat yourself up. Like maybe you're not gonna turn it into a heavy squat day, but instead you're gonna turn it into a body weight day, move some sleds around, do some weighted carries, things like that, but really put an emphasis on recovery. That's all I got for you guys today. We are done. I hope that this video with some common mistakes to avoid when it comes to focusing on your nutrition really is gonna help you guys out. If you enjoyed today's stuff, please make sure you smash that like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Posting videos twice a week, but you might want to be notified because sometimes there's some new breaking stuff that comes out that I really want to just hop on camera and share with you guys, and I will definitely be doing that a lot more often. Thank you guys for sticking around and supporting the channel, and have a great day. Namaste.